Hey guys, you're welcome to today's session on biology with Mr. Sam, and today we shall be discussing taxonomy. Have you ever wondered how scientists classify and name the millions of living organisms on Earth? Well, that's where taxonomy comes in. It's the branch of biology that deals with classification, identification, and naming of organisms. Today we will delve deep into how this system works, its historical development, the hierarchy involved, and the importance of taxonomy in the broader context of biological sciences. Of course, many times you've seen how we talked about characteristics of living things, and today we shall be looking at how we classify these living things into different hierarchical levels. First, let's break down what taxonomy is. Taxonomy comes from the Greek word taxis, which means arrangement, and nomia, meaning method. So it is a science of naming, describing, and classifying organisms based on shared characteristics. Taxonomy also helps organize and understand evolutionary relationship between organisms. The father of taxonomy, whom we address as the father of taxonomy, is Carolus Linnaeus, who developed the modern system of naming organisms called Binomial Nomenclature. This system uses two Latin names, the genus and the species names. For example, human beings are known as Homo sapiens, where Homo is the genus name and sapiens is the species name. So now let's explore how organisms are classified. Taxonomy organizes life into a series of hierarchical categories known as taxa for plural or taxon for singular. These range from broad to specific, allowing scientists to categorize organisms in increasing levels of similarity. Here is the traditional hierarchy. The first and the broadest is the domain, dividing life into three categories: archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. Then we have the kingdom. This includes broad groups like plants, animals, fungi, and many others. And the next to it is phylum, which organizes or groups based on large structural similarities such as presence of backbone in animals. Then we have the class. Organisms within a phylum are further divided into classes based on specific traits. For instance, mammals, which belong to the class Mammalia. These are organisms that give birth to live ones. And then we have the next classification, which is order. After classes have been done, we further divide classes or separate them into different orders. Example in the case of carnivora, which includes animals like lions and tigers that feed on flesh. Then others are further divided into families. For example, the family Felidae, which includes all cats. Then we have the genus. This is a group of closely related organisms. Then finally, the least and the most related is the species, identifying organisms that can breed and produce fertile offsprings. Carolus Linnaeus classified living things into only plants and animals, but modern classification has created more kingdoms to accommodate organisms that are neither plants nor animals. There are 5 kingdom classifications. We have the first kingdom, kingdom Monera; the second kingdom, kingdom Protista; the third kingdom, kingdom Fungi; the fourth kingdom, kingdom Plantae; and the last kingdom, kingdom Animalia. Now let's look into the kingdom Monera. The kingdom Monera encompasses all prokaryotic organisms which lack a membrane-bound nucleus and organelles. So organisms without membrane-bound nucleus and organelles are known as prokaryotes. This organism is typically split into 2 main groups, and they are: the phylas include Schizophyta, which encompasses the bacteria, and then we also have the Cyanophyta, which is the blue-green algae. And the bacteria are further divided based on their different structurals or structural appearances. When it is circular, we call it the coccus or cocci for plural. When it is rod-like, we call it the bacilli. And then we also have the spirals, which includes the vibrio and the spirochetes. Then we have kingdom Protista. The Protista or the kingdom Protista is a diverse group of eukaryotic organisms. In this case, eukaryotes means organisms with membrane-bound organelles and nucleus, including single-celled organisms and simple multicellular forms. Protists can be autotrophic or heterotrophic, like in the case of protozoans. The major phyla here include Phylum Rhizopoda, which we have the most prominent member, Amoeba. We have Phylum Celiophora, which are the ciliates, those that move around with cilia, such as the Paramecium. And we have Phylum Euglenophyta. Under here we have the Euglena. And then we have Phylum Epicomplexa, that's the sporozoans. This includes the malaria parasite Plasmodium. Then under kingdom Fungi, they are primarily decomposers and consist of eukaryotes, still organisms that have membrane-bound organelles and nucleus. They can be multicellular, except for yeast, which is single-celled. They are heterotrophic and absorb nutrients through external digestion. They are mostly saprophytes, that means they feed on dead materials. The major phyla in this kingdom include Phylum Zygomycota, which includes the bread mold. And then we also have Phylum Ascomycota, where we have the yeasts. And then we finally have Phylum Basidiomycota, which is the mushrooms. So guys, this is it for the first part of our lesson on taxonomy or classification of living things. I look forward to seeing you in my next class, where we'll be treating the kingdom Plantae, which is one of the most diverse kingdoms in the 5 kingdom classification. So keep touch, keep in contact with all our social media platforms, and give us feedback, and any questions or contributions you have to make, please drop them in the comment section. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Do have a nice day. Until then.